talk about 15 to 25%.
Alright, so we're going to continue on. Let's check our friendships anyway. Our friendship with Cal is only at 78. We're at 94 with Tammy, 85 with Mars. So we might be able to full out them. Barber fruits, eggs, and... Okay, since it's the first day of the first month of this season, we can go ahead and do that.
Throw an egg at curly fries.
Okay, I'll throw an egg at curly fries next. Ah, damn.
I want to see her reaction.
No, I think we gave everybody just before we ended the last one. But let me check with her. Okay, yeah, we can give her something. So we'll give her the egg.
I'm done.
Okay, so...
Oh, because
that was her birthday,
food.
too.
Oh, what? Today's her birthday?
Yeah, birthday this week, and you were right. I was wrong. She likes Xeno eggs.
Yeah, because I'm like, she's a sports person and she likes food. Think of it. Barber fruit man likes barber fruit. Why wouldn't a curly fries like egg food?
Honestly, I do not know what I was thinking. Like,
I would think she would use the egg like a football. I mean...
Okay.
I would think of it that she might use the egg like a fucking kickball or something.
Alright. I'm trying to keep the... Let me move my drink. Okay, so we're gonna go in there. Really? You somehow found a freaking mushwood log when I was trying to make you go and study the plants. You decide, oh, log, not plants. Okay, xenobotany. You've been studying the sponge cake you found at the Valley of Vertigo in that oddly squishy trampolini ground. As you suspected, it's a type of fungus. The analysis bench tells you it contains edible starches. Once dried and processed with a maturing agent, acidic spark snow would work nicely. It would make a wonderful flour. So we're eating the ground now. The challenge now is to cultivate it. It multiplies quickly, and you've seen how it stops anything else from growing. So plant it in a back field. You plant the sponge cake in a special field, quarantined on the other side of the geoponics dome from the rest of the crops. By the end of the month, you can already tell that it's taken root and will start producing food soon. You should get your first harvest during pollen, when the sponge swells up and is at its sweetest. So now every pollen we can just come in here and harvest it. Many of the earth crops grow through dust and need to be harvested before wet, which means the colony has more food available year-round. It's going to be an incredible boon. So if we can get to the Valley of Vertigo and really start looking around in there and find the sponge cake.
Save Mom.
Yeah. Oh, these are kind of Tammy-centric. So first, Tammy's Care, which will do a +3 to the card. The surprise party. Babysitting. The talent show.
I mean, Tammy's a sass queen now.
Tammy is the ultimate sass queen. And then house gratitude, so we can just tit for tat it.
McDaniels.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know.
I can't even touch this because I'm eating food.
I forgot about Virtue Malia, but now it's not Virtue Malia and it's Lum. This year, Governor Lum's ascension to the Virtue Malia stage is heralded by an entire military band. Their instruments shiny and nano-printed new. They march out of...
So they wasted their things on useless items, okay. Instead of people who need clothes or anything else, something proper.
They march out of command in formation, splitting and...
Make more food? No, I'm gonna waste it on military shiny shit for music.
You mean like how America does?
Shut up.
splitting and forming a phalanx at the foot of the stage as Lum takes his place before you. Spotlights turn on with a heavy ka-chunk noise, illuminating Lum in a halo of floating dust particles. He spreads his arms
Where's
wide.
the fucking plasma cutter so I can shoot him off the fucking the thing?
Rifle. Plasma cutter is just a shank. You're not going up there and shanking this movie.
I will find a way. I mean, plasma rifle, whatever you call it.
Right. Hello.
Just shoot him out of the sky, please.
Hello, Vertruma. His voice booms over the speakers. Are we winning or what? I'm pushing
Why
you
do you
off.
Why do you sound like those retarded people that like they go on a stage, they try to like cool like, hey everybody, what's up? I'm this, and everyone's like, the fuck?
The reaction is mixed. You look around. It's easy to see the ones cheering the loudest are Helios and people who fully adopted their mentality, like Anemone.
And then you got when the actual cool person comes out, everyone's like, yeah, and he's like, okay.
The Stratos are more reserved, some even silent. Chief Rat is one of them, his usual stony expression hiding his true feelings. Regardless, there's enough cheering that Lum has to wait for it to die down before he continues. We're killing it out there, people, he exclaims. Every day, we claw a little more territory from the savage aliens of this planet.
You're the savage alien. What blasphemy are you talking?
A potato paw arcs through the air and lands in a broken fork.
Yes! Yes!
With splattering him with juice, you don't see he threw it, but a fraction of the geoponics is looking restless. They begin to jeer and stomp their feet. Lum continues, raising his fist. These Xenos attacked us first, and now they're learning.
No, you invaded their land first. No wonder they're trying to defend their territory.
Don't mess with humankind. The crowd is now evenly split between cheering and booing. The Stratos are agitated, and you hear calls for things to return how they were, and how Lum and his soldiers are killing the planet.
No.
Okay, so now we know you don't like blue raspberry.
No, there's some blue raspberry that be tasting good, like the fruit roll-up one.
Uh-huh.
Tastes good. This, no.
Okay. Even the
Tastes like
council,
medicine.
lined up before the stage are facing the crowd looks conflicted. We left Earth to get away from this shit. Your dad shouts.
Oh my God! Team Dad! Team Dad! Be careful not to choke on food. Team Dad!
He rarely swears. Now look at us. We're right back to where we started, fighting each other and the planet. We brought it with us. Utopia hops on stage and routes her own here speak through the speakers. He's lying, she says bitterly. This year we lost 2 surveyors in the swamp, Sorrel and Queenie. They'd be alive today if Lum hadn't sent them to clear out a manticore den for no... Ooh. Wait. Who is Sorrel and Queenie? Because the only people we haven't met were Mars's dads. And they naming people.
That means it's probably like, you know how we know the Creeps people that what we know? It probably might have been the second group.
I don't know. She jams a finger against Governor's chest. The only threat to our colony here is you. Lum's smile doesn't change, but his eyes go cold. He snatches Utopia's hand and calmly, slowly crushes her hollow palm crystal with his thumb. You can hear the crunch of the bones of her hand before her feet cuts out.
Again? Where's the plasma cutter rifle shit so I can shoot him out?
Utopia yelps as her knees buckle with the pain. Her bravado is gone. She holds her broken hand to her chest and is too shocked to resist when Lum shoves her off stage. The crowd is stunned into silence as well. Lum clears his throat and approaches the end of the stage, looming tall.
And then he think your people gonna have people who won't be on your. Oh my God, having a freaking convulsion right here. You think that people are going to be on your side for doing that in public?
Thank you for your input, he says icily. Your concerns have been noted. This isn't the buffoon Lum presents on his daily hollow vlogs. or the nuisance he is when he visits a work site. You see something in his eyes you've only caught glimmers of. Hatred.
For no reason.
You Stratos are lucky we didn't crush you under our boots and take your colony by force, he sneers. Before we got here, the colony was doomed. You're only alive because I was merciful. And you're going to get shot in the spine.
Last I checked, weren't you a dumbass yourself who been kicked out of Earth?
No, they followed us. Just a bunch of burnt out hippie fugitives. What was your plan for surviving out here? Wishful thinking? Sing songs and talking to the animals? Laughter ripples through the Helios. You, he gestures to the council, then jerks his thumb at his chest, need us, not the other way around. I'm done pretending I need to listen to your opinions. If you want to live, you do what I say. He stares at...
First of all, we technically do not need you. All we needed was just more self-defense features. That's it. We don't need you.
He stares...
If we had... I'm sorry for interrupting again, but if we only had some proper self-defense features and stuff like that just to properly defend ourselves, I'm pretty sure we would not need your ass one bit.
He stares at Dr. Instance, who glares up at him with hate in her eyes as she tends to Utopia's hand. Maybe it's time to clean house, he threatens. We need team players here. Ones who share one vision for the future of Ventruma. How about we split off into 2 separate groups and let you die? We know what's going to happen with this planet, and we're trying to do better by the planet, and you're actively trying to make yourself a cancer for this planet.
I don't need no cancer. I'll be running away.
Yeah, we can just split off. I mean, I'm going to drag Anemone kicking and screaming. But we'll split off. You can do this. We take your children and everything. We'll keep them safe. And you die.
No.
I'm not talking...
No. I'm talking about the fact that you say he has children.
No. I wasn't saying his children. I'm talking about the Helios children. Also, I've been saying one word wrong throughout this whole thing, and I had to watch a nature documentary to know it.
What?
Creche is not creche, it's crash.
That's too late.
After a few moments, Seek clears their throat. Ahem. Sir, shall I continue with the traditional formalities now? Lum scowls down at Seek, then throws his hands in the air. Whatever, do it. If it makes you feel better, you're all cowards. He turns and stalks off the stage.
He's a warmonger.
No, his marching band scrambling to follow him with his exit song. He basically made himself some theme songs.
Again, why aren't we having murdering this guy out yet? All we need is a fucking gun and just shoot him out of the thing and we're all happy!
Okay, as promised, there are no contests this year, but there's plenty of food and alcohol. As the sun begins to set, the Helios, including Basin and Anemone, head straight for it and look ready to party the night. The other teams seem a little less at ease. Dice has predictably left. Should we party with the Helios, hang out with the Stratos, or find our boy?
Honestly, I did not think there was going to be a third option because I was going to automatically say go to the Helios so we can talk to them, but Dex is missing now.
Yeah, let's go find Dice. You don't find Dice on the walls, or the robotics lab, or any of his usual hiding places. Not even Congruence can read his location. You have an idea where he could be, though. Yep. You creep up on Sim and Dice meeting in secret outside the colony walls. Trust me, Dice, I'm not concerned, Sim says, his hand resting on Dice's shoulder entreatingly. The planet is in no danger of being subjugated by humans. You don't get it, Dice exclaims. They're really serious. They're going to use bombs. You've seen bombs, right? Explosions? What if they cut down every tree or poison the wivers or...
Wivers?
Yeah, they poison the wivers, and they're gonna get the bombs and poison the wivers, and then put a plague.
Wivers, okay? I'm like, are you?
And they're gonna put a plague on everyone's houses. You want me to sit here?
You're the one who went. You're the one who went Elmer Fudd, okay?
I'm sorry, but Sam smiles patronizingly. I forget sometimes that you're so human, he says, and Dice scowls. You're stuck in time, unable to see beyond the next 100 years. Even if your species manages to wipe all life from this continent, we'll simply bring it back again. It may take 20,000 years, but this planet will outlive you.
He just backslash you across the map.
Dice knocks Sim's hands away and wipes his eyes. Why are you always so calm? He spits out. Other gardeners aren't like this. Other gardeners know that humans are dangerous.
You're just a warmonger.
Dice.
You're an extremist. I think we're just observing, not...
Yeah. Sim sighs, closing the distance between them and folding Dice into a gentle hug, like one will approach a biting animal.
Calm down, but then calm the angry bugger.
Good boy, sweet boy, understand. I'm not like other gardeners, not anymore. Just like you're not like your humans. Dice sniffles and buries his head in Sim's tattered clothing. I wish you let me help, he murmurs, almost too quiet for you to hear. Should we make them know that we're here, or should we leave them to their moment?
I think we should leave them for their moment.
Yeah. You sneak back the way you came, dodging Vase and his reveling friends. They somehow wrangled themselves a live trippet and are in the process of skewering it to roast over. Oh my god! You can hear its dying squeals from here, and shortly after that, the smell of sweet charred scent of it roasting over a flame.
Okay, so... Yeah,
yeah, he's abusive.
Yeah. Like, if you have an animal, at least kill it humanely and don't let it have so much...
No, because here's the thing. Usually abusers and sociopaths start with the animals and then they start going up.
No, I know that, but I'm like, at least kill it humanely if you want food, you know?
That wasn't for them to eat. They're just being assholes.
I think we have a second person to shot.
Oh, we shooting all these bitches. The party continues well into the night, with more feasting and dancing for those who support Governor Lum and his war against the planet.
Hell nah.
The week after Virtumalia is one of the hottest since you landed. You're supposed to take time off for a much-needed break, but it's just so humid and awful and tempers are short. Shortly after the festival, you start seeing graffiti cropping up everywhere. It seems that a lively, if not particularly civil, conversation between the two factions is being held on the flat surfaces of the colony. Stop drinking it then!
It's Jews! I want Jews!
Lum announces a zero-tolerance policy for political graffiti. Oh, you gonna go to the zero-tolerance policy, which means if I fight somebody, I can fight their ass to the death. Because, look, if you survive, we both get the same punishment. But if you dead, I just get the punishment. You just gave me free reign to whoop somebody's ass. I love you right now, Lum, because if I come after you, that zero tolerance is going to be working for me.
And everybody will be fine with it, with no repercussions.
Yep. But you notice that not every tag is removed, just the ones against the war. Of course, the atmosphere of the colony is oppressive, as thick as the choking dust heat itself. Everywhere you try to relax, people just want to talk about the war. To make matters worse, the sweltering nights are making your nightmares intense again. You return to work feeling more stressed than ever.
Oh, I'm surprised they haven't invented a cooling mechanism yet.
Well,
Think about it. They can use leaves to brush the heat off. They have a nano printer.
But you are only allowed to use it in certain situations.
I'm pretty sure having everyone have a fan in their house to cool down is perfectly fine.
Okay. Should we hang out with Tangent? Should we hang out with Tanny, Mars, or Cal? Because we're doing some inside stuff for a little bit. So...
I guess Cal, because he's the weakest right now.
Alright, so back to here. We'll help him with animals. Because then we actually interact with him. You meet your dad by the animal pens, fresh and ready for your first day at your new job. Really? Your dad laughs at your clean clothes and your scrubbed face. Oh, Pumpkin, I'm sorry to tell you that you're a little overdressed for the position. He chuckles. You're going to get dirtier than all heck today. Go put these overalls on and let's get to work. You change and follow your dad to the float cow pens. He rubs their noses as he points out their names. I know they're cute, but these ladies aren't pets, he says. They're livestock. And more than that, they're not really domesticated like our animals back on Earth. They're more like tame.
Companions.
We give all the animals lots of room to roam and we feed them well. They're not going to get chased down and eaten by bigger animals, and we help them if they're sick. It's a pretty good deal, I think, but they're still pretty wild, he says. You gotta learn to be careful with them. He leans his elbow over the fence. We're pretty lucky that Vertruma has herd animals, he says. Makes a couple easier. We'll probably have a real domestic animals in a couple 100 years. Yeah, you gotta breed that out. Well, kiddo, your dad says, spreading his arms. We got all these animals. What do you want to learn about first? The Bristol slugs, the float cows, the sugar bugs, the tripits. I don't think we should eat animal stuff, or let's get started.
Let's poke the float cow.
Okay? Your dad gestures to a herd of float cows. Are they beautiful and pretty gross? You don't want to know what they make their milk, where they make their milk, but I'll give you a hint. It's not dairy. What?
Are you telling me we're drinking their pee?
It's not any weirder than when people used to drink cow's milk. I mean, who was the first guy who decided to do that? I think he was sucking on something that he was hoping was something else, but found something better. Let's see, we figure out that if we keep feeding them what they'd be eating during pollen, they'll keep making milk year round, he continues proudly. It makes them heavy enough that they don't float away, otherwise we would keep them on leads like balloons. What do tripits look like? Oh, that. So,
plant. Okay.
So they are able to scream. That's what they were roasting over the fire.
The poor plant was screaming in pain. Oh my god.
No joke. We thought these guys were just plants for the first couple of years, your dad says. We transplant them from the wild to the greenhouse, but I guess that was just part of their life cycle because it turns out they're sentient and can move around. We moved them out of the greenhouses into the barns, but we don't really treat them differently. They just mostly sit there. Okay, show me a sugar bug. Damn it, you don't even show us them. Your dad takes you to a rows of crates where the soft, squishy sugar bugs are all clumped together. And you want to sit here and read it?
Hell no.
Because I know you'll trip over the words faster than me.
I know that.
These guys...
No, the thing is, I have an excuse because I am just a bad brain. You have no excuse.
I don't have a bad brain. I have a bad mouth.
Bad brain comes with the mouth communication, though.
No, you just don't have the filter between the two. I'm not used to talking. These guys are pretty cool, he says, picking one up. It perfectly fits in his palm. They're a colony just like us, and if you tickle them, you get... He brushes his finger along the top of the sugar bug, and a little jet of gooey stuff comes out. Sugar bug syrup, he says. Pretty neat, right? And the Bristol slugs? Oh yeah, we got a ton of them, he says. They're great. Slow and gentle and easy to catch. Which you already know. But don't let those spikes fool you. They're actually really cuddly, and don't mind it when you pet them. It actually helps them. In the wild, they'd be scratching up on all sorts of things to knock off those itchy berries. He scrunches up his nose. They're not really berries, but more like eggs? Well, they're like berries because even though they're sweet and... You know what? Never mind. Vertruman animals are pretty weird. Yeah, let's just get started. Great, your dad says, clapping you on the back. That's the kind of energy I want to see around here. We need someone to milk out the float cow stables. They might float, but their poop sure doesn't. He hands you a shovel. Have fun!
He's like, I throw you off a cliff. Good luck.
Our last name is Shit Shoveler.
Oh my god. Do we even have a last name?
Nope.
We just only have pure names, huh?
Okay, the embarrassing lesson we can keep between rounds. We're only doing like one round anyway, so 4, 3. That's right, you do that. We'll put saving Tammy. And then you give me a +2 to a card, so there we go. Okay, that's mid-dust. late dust. Stop drinking it if you don't like it.
I will drink it because I paid it.
Do you want me to just like give you $2 so you can stop drinking it?
No, I will drink it and die in pain.
Okay, so who should we hang out with next? Because we still have a good amount of time. Because like once we get here to the late wet, that's when we'll take the time off because we're going to probably need it. Because, you know, glow. Should we just hang out with Tammy again? Because we're very close to getting our thing done. All right, what you need.
I'm done.
You spot Rex carrying supplies and big pieces of wood into a huge tarped up section at the end of the lounge. He waves at you. Well, as much as he can wave, with arms full of mushwood. Hey, Solana, he calls out to you. Have you come to see the bar? I told you he'd be the one to bring... You give him a questioning look. The bar? You don't know Rex super well? You've never heard of anything about a bar? He gestures at the tarps. My bar? I've been working on a special project ever since I joined the construction crew. The colony needed a place to cut loose. You dig? He looks up at it, beaming with pride. I think it's about halfway done. You take a look at what you can see. Rex has kept it all pretty tarped up and hates letting people inside. But you can tell it's big. Perhaps a little too big. Ambitious, maybe, for a first solo construction project. But Rex has had a lot of help from his crew and from the whole colony. He'd have to be able to find enough wood. Yeah, it'll be great.
So we can help him give him wood.
Rex comes over to you and slings you a one-armed hug. Just seeing you makes me super energized, he says. I can almost hear the music now. That's right, the bar's gonna have live music. And you know anyone who plays an instrument? I'm gonna work double time to finish this place. If you want to help, bring me all the mushwood you can find. Now we give him the mushwood logs.
I mean, the boy already likes sticks anyway. He's a dog.
No, he likes cakes, but only on his birthday. But now if we give him mushwood logs, if we go out to like the Valley of Vertigo and stuff like that and get mushwood logs, that's where we send them.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to help in the kitchens because Tammy.
Okay.
Auntie Anne comes bursting into the kitchen carrying a large crate. Special delivery, children. She sets the crate down on the prep table and sticks her hand inside. It's time to do my favorite thing in the world, in the kitchen, figuring out new ways to cook fresh food. You grew up eating soy rations, tasteless but nutritious. The hydroponics board of the spaceship never made enough to feed everyone, so fresh food was a luxury. Auntie Anne was always excited to try her hand at real cooking. With a flourish, she pulls from the box an alien plant you've never seen before. It's pale blue, oblong, about the size of her forearm. It hits the cutting board with a disturbingly meat-like slap and immediately starts oozing slime. Your father finally cleared this friendly little fruit for human consumption. Anne says, it doesn't even have a name yet. You could come up with something fitting while you figure out how to use it. You look dubiously at this weird fruit as you watch it glorp out fresh waves of slime. Auntie Anne catches your disgusted expression and laughs. I'm sure we can think of something to do with it, Tammy says, clasping her hands nervously in front of her chest. She doesn't look as enthusiastic as usual, but she still manages to chirp. It looks really fresh. Okay, we have 2 card options. The I'll try or I don't think it's edible. And if we click I don't think it's edible, we'll get a Tammy card.
What's the first one?
It's a 3.
Oh, that's a wild card, though.
True, but is Tammy looking disgusted?
No, but I think we should get the wild card because, you know, any situation, we have something that blends with all of them and get bonuses.
Okay. You give it a sidelong glance.
As much as I love to see Tammy being stinky face, the long run is for the better.
No way. Nuh-uh. You're not putting it anywhere near your mouth. If Anne wants to try it so hard, she can figure out how to cook it. Following your lead, Tammy becomes too scared to touch it as well. Actually, new things are pretty scary, she says without a trace of embarrassment. Can we just use it for compost? Considering you had a kid before everybody else, you You are the last one I want to hear new things are scary from.
Girl, you were about to go to war. They said it's there to protect that child. What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, she can go to war and stuff to save her baby. I'm fine with that. Let's see. At +2 to cards with gems, which helped. No. No. There. We worked well. We got +1 with Tammy. Okay, it's early wet. Tammy, I give you a present. Because we care about you like that. Where's our friendship with you? At 97. So we're gonna have to hang out with her like a couple more times, and we have her at 100%. Okay. Tangent doesn't even notice your approach, absorbed in staring at her hand. She flexes it a few times and touches her thumb to each fingertip. When she notices you, she looks surprised for a moment before her expression smooths over again. The body is a remarkable machine, she says.
The body's not a machine, it's an organic matter.
It technically is a machine still. So weak as a child, then so strong in its prime, then ravaged by its own imperfect biology until it literally crumbles around us. And yet somehow we made it to the stars, and then here. She closes her fist. Imagine what we could do if not burdened by our physical forms. See, now this is the bitch that I would have expected to meet Sim.
Yeah. She likes her science, but even her science.
Mm-hmm. Hope you find it useful, because we are not flirting with you. Then where is... I just thought about something. Since she likes Xeno eggs, but he hates them. Any gift that we give her that's a Xeno egg, he probably crushed it. Okay. And then an egg for you. Yep. You... And I'm starving. I'm going to get to the kitchen and cook this right up. Alright. Mars. Mars gently rubs the corners of her eyes with her fingertips. Can you move that so the music... Because remember, Nintendo fights people when it comes to playing with their music.
I thought you could hear it.
It can hear you while you're over there. Yeah, so it can hear it. I could get flagged by Nintendo.
Then how did the people play the Zelda games on the game?
Some of them might have to actually get you have to get the okay from them. But, yeah.
Just because there's a lot of people who are playing the game right now, so how are they playing with all that sound?
Or they probably have it where they turn off the music part of it, that you don't really hear the music and you were too busy watching the action. Tammy's daughter cries literally all night and all day, she grumbles. It doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. Sleeping? I can hear her. Watching vids? I can hear her. She pinches the bridge of her nose. Nothing makes you more thankful for contraceptives than being around a baby. Alright.
Watch how Irony will beat you in the ass and then you somehow get a child like, oh my god, I love my baby.
Of course, that's right. Today's her birthday. So I'll give you that. Then we get Bobber Fruit for you. Solana, good to see you. Have you come to see the new genetically modified hybrids? Taints on some real future tech with these ones. Apparently they're going to yield like 4 times as much fruit, and the rind is going to be edible too. Speaking of edible. Yep. So let's see. Of course you're at 100, you're at 82, 89, and 97. Too bad we can't find y'all guys during glow. So now we'll hang out with Mars. Let's see. Should we deliver supplies or work in the depot?
I mean, the depot gives us more money, right?
We ain't gonna really have much to buy. Let me read the prompt first.
Okay, then.
You and Mars are working together at the depot, lazily filling orders and stocking shelves. It's not a glamorous job, but it's easy and you don't have to run all over the colony or deal with anything gross like weather. Mars cranes her head to catch a customer leave, then whistles. Wow, she says, leaning her head on her hand. Did you see the behind on that one? Honestly, the best part about colony living is that everyone is in like peak physical form.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, help me.
You got a nice butt yourself, and we get a card called Goofing Off, which is -1, and it flirts with Mars. Let's admire butts together, which is multitasking. And keep it in your pants, marzipan, which is a boring, and we've had that one before. So yeah, these two are.
Yeah, so the second one is just the best card.
All right. +2. Mars rolls her eyes, and you both get back to work, taking breaks to giggle over particularly delicious customers. At one point, Seek comes in to drop something off, and as they turn around and leave, you and Mars burst into laughter. You can't help but notice Seek does sashay ever so slightly when they walk, hips swinging like a pin. Why are you looking at this person's face?
It's your fault.
I mean, we wanted the new card. I didn't expect them to watch Seek and watch them sashay away like they're on RuPaul's Drag Race, okay?
Girl, you went too far.
Wait, you've never heard the whole sashay away thing from
Yes,
RuPaul?
I know that. That's what I'm saying. You went too far.
But they literally said that Seek sashays.
It's Sasquatch woman.
So Seek really swings the hips when they walk.
Good Lord, have mercy on your soul.
Let's see. Wait, I think I can do this really interestingly. Okay, so that will make all cards turn to mind cards. This gives a +6 if the cards are blue. Then, let's see. You are a wild, technically, and then you are a, because that spot was a +3 to it.
The walking Sasquatch has spoken.
What?
Eh?
No, I'm sitting here just trying to figure out how I was going to set this up to get to 40, and I got it up to 42.
Oh, that's great. Me.
Because that last one turned to 11. And Mars wants to speak. Alright, what does Queen want? You find Mars going through old holo photos from when you were all kids aboard the Stratospheric. She gives you a sad little smile and pats the couch next to her. Come look through these photos with me, she says. I forgot about some of these. Mars brings up a picture of Anemone and Cal from when they were both probably 4 or 5 years old. They both stripped down to just their pants and have painted monster faces on their chests, and are standing on the top of the tables of the creche, waving swords above their heads. You remember that table being a fort, a pirate ship, a haunted house, and a jungle cave, depending on the day. Look at them, Mars says, smiling. They used to be the best of friends, right? Whenever you saw one, the other was always tagging along. She sighs. It's so weird that they, never talk to each other anymore. I mean, I get it. Anemone got all weird about being a soldier after her brother died, and Cal really doubled down on the whole hippie aesthetic.
I think it's sad that they grew apart, yeah.
Yeah. Mars hums non-comedically and goes to the next image. Tammy's gentle face smiles back at you. She's in the ship's galley, learning how to make soy sweets from Antecedent. She's wearing an apron, but almost all of her is covered in different colored powders used for flavoring and coloring the sweets. Even the tips of her pointed ears are dusted with it. Oh, her sighs. Look at this one. I can't believe Tammy has a baby of her own. She'll always be the shy little girl to me, you know? Mars continues. At least she has Cal to help her out. Her mouth twists in a secretive smile. Echinacea looks a lot like Cal did when he was a baby, don't you think? Kind of a big coincidence, if you ask me. Honestly, I don't know what we'd do without her. Mars taps through more photos, pursing her lips. I swear, there's at least one picture of Dice here, she mutters. It takes almost a minute, but she finally finds one. Tang and Dice joint 5th birthday party, complete with matching soy cakes. Their mother, Besk, is just out of the frame, a drink in her hands. Oh, this was before Dice got all weird about his birthday, Mars hums. I still have no idea what happened there. I mean, who doesn't like birthdays? It's weird to see them so happy together, she continues. I can't remember the last time I saw either of them really smile like that. Tang sighs, and now Tang spends all her time cooped up in engineering, and Dice spends more time outside the colony than he spends in it. It's just so sad. Mars stares down at the little hologram in her hand. I didn't mean to bully him so much, she admits softly. I thought I was helping him learn to fit in. Like, toughening up a little, so he didn't cry so much, you know?
Well,
her mouth twitches a sad smile, but I guess I ended up pushing him further away. When I was little, I didn't understand that words could hurt people, because they don't hurt me. Yeah, you could have been nicer. She sits back and sighs. That's true. Oh, that's adorable. It's weird. Looking back on when we used to be kids, Mars muses, we were so innocent. We had no idea about the wormhole or Vertruma. No dying, no famine, no killer pollen, no animal attacks.
No killer pollen.
I mean, we didn't even have bad weather on the ship. All we cared about was playing and popularity. Mars gestures to herself. Now look at me. I'm working on the bridge, and you know it's all politics. It's like a professional popularity contest. I think we're finally seeing a bit more maturity from her. Wow, her hollow palm is literally in her palm. I thought it was supposed to be like on the wrist.
No.
Utopia's was on her wrist.
Oh, she probably.
And Tang was on her wrist.
Oh, probably depending where you want it, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of.
Lum is an idiot, but he's got one thing going for him. Mars laughs. The man has an absolutely impeccable social media game. If nothing else, he knows how to get people to vote for him. Really? That's all you need. Mars leans over and rests her head on your shoulder. Her hair smells like jasmine. Thank you for going through these pictures with me, she says quietly. I try to keep my eyes on the future, but sometimes it's nice to remember where you're from. Like, she literally just gave us a whole behind tangent. Okay, I found barber fruit. Squidly, please keep up. And technically we're 18. We only got like 2 years left. Oh, we can apply to assist the doctors now. Should we go ahead and do that since we're like in in-game times?
I guess so. But remember the theory I had? Well, I still have the fear of, because you know we saw that conversation. Oh, that is military.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to stalk him for a minute.
He's going to be a menace to society even if we try anything. Well, assist the doctor. A surveyor team runs into the med runs into you on the way to the med bay, carrying one of their own on a stretcher. He's bleeding badly from a wound on his neck and crying for help. All right, let's help him out. Yeah, we're definitely gonna take time off the upcoming month.
Okay, maybe we can spend the dice.
You drop what you're doing and hold pressure to the wound until the team can load him onto the med bed. He groans as the restoration technology knits the blood vessels together. Like magic, you watch your bloody hands and accept thanks from his team. Good work there, Solana, Chief Engineer Instant says. You know, with how the colony's grown, I could use an assistant nurse here. Someone I can trust to take care of things while I'm working in the lab. Come back next month and give me a hand if you're interested. Oh, that was just like a
queue, or we call it, quick time event.
Yeah. I mean, we can technically go and hang out with Dice right now and just get our stress down.
Okay.
Okay, where's our idiot? He wants to talk. In the evening, when Dice isn't in his quarters or his usual spot near the expedition vehicles, you have a sixth sense of where to find him. His old secret hideout in the big drain pipe under the wall, where he goes sometimes when he needs to escape and be alone. Sure enough, there he is at the entrance of the pipe, but something's wrong. He's fiddling with a package, furtively. His head jerks up as you approach and he clutches it to his chest. You can barely believe your eyes. You know a bomb when you see one!
I fucking called it! Doing it! I think you're doing that bomb! Bombs! And then I'm like, why do I feel like he's slowly becoming a terrorist? What'd I say?
What are you doing?
Or being a Sasquatch?
Dice stares at you for a moment, weighing the truth. I'm leaving, he says eventually. Knocked a lesson, made me a deal. Sabotage the colony during the next attack, and they'll let me become a gardener. Don't get in my way, Solana, he says. I don't want to have to hurt you.
No!
We can rebel, or we can stop him.
The minute we leave, that means Tammy dies. No!
Alright, yeah.
Our friends will die!
Okay, we need 91.
No, you better abuse the system. Got chicken butt lady?
Okay, that's 30. Plus 1 to the card, and that is locked. Those edible. Spying on a friend. That plus 1 for every gem, but that's not enough. Because we have idiots. Plus 1 for every gem, but let's see. Would this help? We only got 1 yellow flower, so that won't help. And this is a hard one. I'm gonna redraw the hand.
Okay.
Yeah, redraw. Wait, it actually left them this time?
Well, we did the wrong thing then.
Okay. Change your suit. Plus 1 to the question mark cards. Let's see. Let's change you.
If you forget, the wild card becomes any card. So it doesn't matter if you change it or not.
No, because, like, the yellow card gives a plus 1 to it as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what the wild card means. The wild card means that it will be any color. So the rainbow card represents any color.
Okay. But, nah, it's not a wild. See?
No, because you changed it.
But the thing is, let's see. Then if I put this here, by your logic, it should turn to a yellow.
No. That's what I meant by rainbow card. The rainbow card means I'm all the colors.
Okay. Like, either way, we're going to have to work hard for 44.
I mean, you got decent cards.
Let's see. 6, 5, 5, 4, which will not help. Because that'll plus it. But that gives us to that, and we can't push through. And that gives us a +1 to challenges. So yeah, we're not going to be able to stop him. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be our boyfriend anymore. Like, unless I decide to change as many of these to blue, we're kind of screwed here. Because we can't push through, we're too stressed. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Not by much.
So we're just gonna have a bombed house, and it would.
Yep, we're basically just dealing with a bombed house. Like, that gave us an extra, but not by much. Yeah, we can't do anything. We're gonna have to give up.
The only thing I can think of is to redraw one more time.
All right. Okay.
It becomes wild.
So let's see. +2 for every gem, which might help a bit more.
+2 to the last card.
Okay. But what? Okay, that jumped us up to 34. But we're still off by 10. So we can't do it.
No, move the wild card to the front. No, I said to the front.
Either way, we're screwed.
Everything.
Not that easy when you actually have to sit here and do it, right?
Not really. And this is a locked.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only turning these colors.
So we can't stop dice.
Locked the whole place.
Yep.
So that means during the last season we should have rested.
We might have to kill him. As if you actually care, he snarls, stuffing the explosive in his backpack. Before you can say another word, he stomps off into the dark. You run to chase him, but he's disappeared. You hope you might have gotten through to him, but you can't be sure.
So that means the last period we should have rested and then spoke to, if it happened to speak to him.
Then we might as well just relax in the creche. Because either way, we're screwed. Yeah, whatever. Both of these are gem cards, but one of them is a 0. Should I just get rid of the 0?
Eh.
So he's gone, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's technically still there. We can do a let's get out of here.
I mean, what difference does it make?
I mean, it doesn't make a difference, but it's just something to do. Yeah.
I mean, we could backtrack and then not speak to him at that moment.
So, ruining the integrity of the game.
No, it's not. The integrity of the game is to backtrack to learn these finding clues.
True, but... Fine.
I mean, I just had the idea since you had explained to me that you still have to do it. Because think about it. The day Tammy died.
Yeah.
The reason we wouldn't have...
Okay. But here's the thing. We basically have to redo all of this. Like, whatever we're doing, we're going to have to basically...
Don't they have autosaves?
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know where the autosave is. And plus, I was saying, since we basically run the hour, that means us continuing on and making it a separate part to fix the mistake. That's why I was trying to say. Yeah, so I can load late wet.
What time is it now? We can compare the time frame.
Right here, I think, would be the...
We're in year 18, right?
Yeah, we're still in year 18, and this is midnight 40, and that's midnight 41. So these are the last...
Okay, so 39 is the savers.
Okay, so, yeah, we'll be back, like, redoing this and trying to stop dice.